Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
It was caught on camera. A downtown Detroit bar targeted after a man throws a chair through the front window. Thank you for joining us. I'm Pamela Osborne.
And I'm Will Jones. This happened around 4 this morning at Cafe de Mungo's Speakeasy on Griswold in downtown Detroit. Victor Williams joins us live. Victor, the owner of the bar, hopes that video will help police identify the person responsible.
Yeah, that is correct, Pam and Will. And, you know, these chairs and tables, they sit out here even when the speakeasy is closed. The owner tells me he never thought that someone would use one of these items to destroy part of the building.
He just looked both ways and took off running.
Larry Mungo is having the hardest time figuring out why someone would want to throw a chair through the window of his business, Cafe de Mungo's Speakeasy.
When you look at that walk, that man wasn't drunk. You know this man need help. And he looks preppy.
Surveillance video captures the strange occurrence around 4:41 a.m. Sunday morning. You see a young man wearing a shirt that says Manic in green letters, making his way down the sidewalk when he stops to take a moment to look at the storefront. For whatever reason, he then decides to pick up a chair, launching it into the building, shattering the glass window before running away.
Brought down the street, the owner told me he has been in and out of their club, and they had to put him out.
Larry, just like so many people watching, is confused by the man's actions, wondering what will possess him to do such a thing. But he believes it's a red flag for something that could be more disturbing.
He threw that chair through that window as a way to handle his anger. Then I thought about every mass shooter had a beginning. I want to make the world feel as miserable as I am.
This is what the window now looks like from the inside, boarded up and awaiting repairs. Sadly, now that Larry has had to attend to fixing up the place, he's being pulled away from being his wife's caretaker as she recovers from an illness.
I haven't been to sleep since then. Cooking, shopping, bathing her. It wasn't just a broken window. It caused a lot of stress.
Now another man who entered the building after the damage was done was arrested. After cops took a look at the video, they realized they were looking for someone else. And as we know, the search continues. Victor Williams, Local 4.
All right, Victor, thanks.
New at 11.
New tonight, first responders with Detroit Fire and Rescue rescued 2 people who were trapped after a crash. It happened in the area of 7 Mile Road in Sunderland in northwest Detroit. Investigators say the van was speeding when it crashed into the back of a parked semi. Firefighters actually used their truck to lift the semi to pull the van out. They were able to cut both people out of that van. Detroit's fire chief says incidents like this are a reminder to pay attention to the roads.
Distracted driving is extremely dangerous. Always pay attention and speed. Please watch these speed limits. They're a limit for a reason. So just keep in mind, if it says 35, do 35 or less.
We do have calls into police for an update on how those people are doing tonight.
The Transportation Security Administration is investigating after one of his workers is caught on camera aggressively pulling a dog. The video posted on social media shows a TSA explosive detection K9 handler aggressively pulling a working dog at Detroit Metro Airport. The dog and the handler go back and forth for the duration of the video. At one point, a traveler gets in the way of the agent and he appears to be a little uneasy. TSA released a statement tonight. It reads in part, quote, "The behavior displayed by this handler is unacceptable and not within the high standards we hold our officers to. TSA officials at DTW have removed the employee from handling duties pending completion of an investigation and directed that the K9 be taken immediately to a veterinarian for a wellness exam," end quote.
An unruly passenger forces a Delta flight from Detroit to Amsterdam to divert to Boston. Delta officials say the flight landed at Boston Logan International Airport Friday night, where police took that passenger off the flight. They did not describe what the passenger was doing, but Delta says it does have a zero tolerance for unruly behavior. The flight resumed its trip to Amsterdam with 282 passengers and crew. It arrived more than 3 hours late. Let's get a check of the weather. It certainly started out gray and rainy, but man, did it warm up. 80 degrees?
It was beautiful.
It was.
All right, Ron Hillier is here now with a check on what's to come next week.
I'm just happy, Will and Pamela, you all like the weather that I bring today. Zach Track 40 radar. Nothing happening right now, but we did have that rain and some of the thunder showers earlier this morning. So as we zoom out and look across the Midwest, some places not so fortunate right now. Severe weather occurring in parts of the Midwest. Storms firing up right now around Chicago and to the south. You see they have some severe thunderstorm watches in those areas. For us, we are staying away from that activity. It is going to stay 2 hours south. We have those mild temperatures out there right now. We have some cloud cover in downtown Detroit. That view comes from Canada. 61 in Detroit, 58 in Howell. Pontiac coming in at 55. We're at 66 still in Adrian. Some of our northern communities have seen those temperatures just a little bit lower. So tonight, we're going to see those temperatures pretty much on the milder side. We're going to be in the mid-50s. Cloudy tonight, a stray sprinkle is going to be possible as we get into the morning hours. And then coming back home, we're seeing those temperatures in the mid to upper 60s, a chance of a couple of spotty showers. We're going to have more coming up on how long these showers will be sticking around with us. That's coming up with your forewarned weather. Pam and Will.
Thank you, Ron. On Detroit's east side, police are investigating a non-fatal triple shooting. It happened around 1:45 this morning near Gratiot and East Verner Highway. Police say a 19-year-old woman, a 20-year-old woman, and a 20-year-old man were shot. Police have not yet released details surrounding the circumstances of this shooting.
A $1,000 reward offered tonight for the suspect in a triple shooting on Detroit's west side. It happened Saturday morning at a mobile gas station at West McNichols Road and the Lodge Service Drive. Police say there was an argument between the suspect and the cashier before those shots were fired. A man in his 30s died. 2 others were hurt. If you have any information at all, call Detroit Police or Crime Stoppers. You can reach them at 1-800-SPEAK-UP.
Dan Gilbert's son, Nicholas, has passed away at 26 years old. Nick died after a battle with a rare genetic nerve disorder called neurofibromatosis, or NF1. According to his obituary, he passed away peacefully at his home. Nick graduated from Michigan State in 2020, and to many, he was considered a good luck charm for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Nick's funeral will be held on Tuesday afternoon at Temple Israel in West Bloomfield.
New surveillance video shows the moment a driver in Texas plowed through a crowd, killing 7 people. It happened today in Brownsville, about a half-mile from the Mexican border. Police say a man was driving recklessly when he ran over a number of people in front of a shelter known for housing migrants. They say 6 people were taken to the hospital with injuries. Police say the driver was held by witnesses at that scene and now faces a number of charges.
The community of Allen, Texas is grieving in the wake of that mass shooting at an outlet mall.
Thy kingdom come.
Prayer services are underway to remember the victims and their families. People gathered at Cottonwood Creek Church in prayer and reflection for the 8 people who were gunned down and those who were hurt. Tonight, we're hearing from survivors of that chaotic scene, including a mother of 4.
Like 4th of July, like you hear, the loud boom. It was right there, I just went into fight mode, just protect.
We ran to the back, barricaded it with some concrete bricks, and then right then on the security camera, thank God we went in the back at that time. We saw him walk right by, masked up, fake police outfit on.
Meantime, police are still trying to determine a motive for this shooting.
Another major construction project is getting underway in Metro Detroit. Starting tomorrow morning, roughly 5 miles of 8 Mile Road between Woodward and Van Dyke Avenues is being torn up. The resurfacing project will cost roughly $50 million, and it's going to impact drivers in Detroit, Ferndale, Hazel Park, as well as Warren. So be prepared for delays and lane changes. This is going to last through the fall. A special moment today for one of the survivors of the Michigan State campus shooting.
John Howell met his favorite player, Philadelphia 76ers star James Harden. The pair struck up a friendship over FaceTime, and today Howell was courtside for the game. The 20-year-old Howell is paralyzed from the chest down following that shooting. Coming up on Sports Final Edition, we'll show you what Harden did for his #1 fan after the game. You don't want to miss this.
Such a sweet moment.
Yeah, it is. Still more to come on Local 4 News at 11.
Here's Kimberly Gill.
Tell me about the show. How are you liking it?
Yep, that's me with Jennifer Hudson on the set of her new talk show.
We know that you were handpicked.
You know, something you can never really get used to.
My one-on-one with Jay Hudd.
It's so much greatness coming from Detroit.
Why Detroit feels like home to her and who you can expect on her new talk show this month. Coming up.